starting with page 12, this is the alphabet, el alfabeto. Really, the word for the alphabet is el abecedario, but the word alphabet has come into use quite commonly because of English crossing over. Here are the letters. We'll go straight through them. Pronounce them after me, and work them and work them and work them until you can pronounce them well yourself. That way, the more you get used to how they sound when you see them, the easier it is to pronounce any word you see in Spanish. Spanish is all phonetic. For the most part, every letter just has one sound, and you see it and you have to pronounce it. There's no, well, very, very few cases where there's actually silent letters in Spanish. Very few. And it doesn't matter where they are in the word, they're going to still sound the same. Here are the letters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, R, S, T, U, V, I say, or they say B, you can do either one, W, or I say W, X, Y, Z. Now if you go to Spain, some just a very minor change here. The letter C would be pronounced the. So the soft C would take on a TH sound, like our TH in the word think or thought. And the letter Z would also take on that TH sound. Theta would be the name of the letter Z in Spain. You notice that the che and the LY are missing, because back in, I believe it was 94, the Royal Academy of Language decided to take CH out because it didn't really matter. And they just put letters that begin with the CH letters back into the dictionary in the C category, rather than giving it its own category. Double L, same way. They just figured, well, it's two L's, so why call it a separate letter? I still prefer to use it, LY, because to me it seems like a separate sound. Che doesn't really matter, but if you prefer to use that, you can. You just won't see it so much in modern dictionaries. So the acronyms under the Práctica, we have letter A. Spell these acronyms in Spanish. FBI in English becomes FABI. IBM in English becomes in Spanish IBM. PTA in English becomes PTA. NBA in English becomes in Spanish NBA. And the NAACP in English becomes NAACP. Some acronyms are given as one word. For example, the CIA. This can be kind of common if you're wearing a dark suit and everything over there, and you got sunglasses on. Some of the kids might run around, like if you're in Spain, this happened to me a couple times. The kids might run up to you and say, "Tia, tia, es la tia." Or if you're in Latin America, la CIA. Instead of saying la CIA, they would just use the whole thing as a word. Also UCLA, I've heard UCLA used as UCLA before. La UCLA. You go to the UCLA instead of saying UCLA. I guess it's faster to say it that way. Letter B, some English last names. Apellidos is the word for last names that you're spelling out for your Spanish-speaking friend. So you got to spell these words out in Spanish letters. Smith would be spelled like this: S-A-M-A-E-T-H. Carey would be spelled C-A-R-A-Y. Budge would be spelled B-U-D-G-E. Hughes would be spelled H-A-W-E-S. And Jackson would be spelled J-A-C-K-S-O-N. Para conversar, down below just says, gives you the phrase. Now you notice that the textbook is called Como se dice. That means how do you say. The phrase for how do you spell something is the same as the phrase for how do you write it. Como se escribe. There is, look down at the bottom of the page, at the very bottom, you see this note that says Como se deletrea, which is literally the way to say how do you spell it, how does one spell it. But just try to pronounce that word to yourself and you'll realize why most commonists use Como se escribe. Como se escribe, Como se deletrea. Deletrea has a whole lot more syllables, it's a lot more difficult to say, and in language we tend to go with the easier way.